In this video I'm going to do a little bit of fettling on this car and tell you a bit about its recent adventure. So yesterday I did 281 miles in this little car, driving it to Nuneaton near Coventry and back. You might be able to see there's quite a bit of muck on the bonnet. Look, that's genuine muck from doing many miles. I don't know what a 2CV sounds like at motorway speeds. This just about doing 60 to 70 miles an hour. Some way off the bottom of the speedometer. I may actually have to give the poor old girl a wash. But there are some things that need sorting out. This indicator packed up just as I turned into the driveway, and that was pretty much the only problem I have. But the gearbox feels a bit stiff and notchy, and I'm worried that water may have got into the oil. So I have some fresh gearbox oil. I need 0.9 litres to fill the gearbox, and I also have a bleed nipple to sort out. The one on the near side rear is not in a very good state. It made bleeding the system a bit of a pain. So I've got a brand new nipple to go in. If I can find my 7mm spanner, make that job a lot easier. So oh well, I just found my 7mm spanner in this pile of crap. That's amazing. That'll make life easier. Right, let's see if we can work out what's gone wrong with this indicator then. Wires attached there and there. That's still attached. Well, that seems to be working fine, and all I've done is wiggle wires. Interesting. Aha! Right, so this earth point here appears to be the issue. Clearly not making a brilliant connection. Oh well, I shall monitor that one and see how it goes. We'll say that's job done for now. Well, that can't be considered a good result. The lead nipple has just sheared off. And the good news is it seems to have sheared without undoing any of the pressure on this point here. So at least it will remain drivable. But I think I'm going to have to replace the whole wheel cylinder, which is what operates the shoes on the back. That means taking the hub off, which requires a 44mm socket. I do not have the 44mm socket. Bugger. Right. Any gearbox oil drain should start with making sure the filler comes undone, because otherwise you're in a bit of bother. There we go. So that's the filler loose. Now I can loosen the drain plug. Gearbox oil stinks, so I've resorted to gloves, and I've got my DIY catch can. Now I need to see if I can get to the drain plug. Well, that seemed to work, and now I'm just trying to get all the bits of metal off the end of that plug. It's got a magnet in it, so every time you crunch a gear, bits splinter off, and you don't really want those getting in the gears as they go around, so they get picked up by this magnet. But yeah, waiting for it to drain. I'll put the fresh in. I'll drop it back down to level ground so I can get the appropriate level. Job is a good one. Two tasks you can do together are make tea on your hob stove and anneal your copper washer. I had to salvage this one from elsewhere, and as I don't know its history, I thought I'd better give it an anneal, which means basically heating it up until it's red hot, and then you can let it cool down and refit it. Annealing sort of softens up the copper again, so it makes a good seal. I don't always bother, to be honest. I've not had much issue with leaky copper washers. It depends whether someone's mangled them in the past. I managed to drop the one on this gearbox on the filler plug, so I'm replacing it with a spare, which isn't in brilliant condition, but I think it'll be alright for the filler. So next step is finish my tea and get the oil. Right, and to the oil itself. This is transaxle fluid, 75W90. That should be sufficient for a 2CV. And the important bit is GL4 here. GL5 not so good for these old gearboxes. Right. Crack the seal. Oh, that isn't meant to come off like that. Never mind. I've got to try and stop that from going everywhere before it's in the hole. Yeah, I reckon that's probably about there. Now the important bit is to let it drain before putting the plug back in. Don't whack the plug in and hope, because if you overfill the gearbox it tends to spray out everywhere as you're driving along, which is not very nice because the exhaust is right beneath it. Stinky.
Oh yeah, that's feeling a lot better. See, I've actually got the roof off, so apologies if there's any wind noise. But that's a much slicker gear change. Just goes to show how important gear oil is, and it's something that very often gets overlooked.